It's Friday, March 13th, 2020. I got it finally wrapped up for the last couple of weeks I've been here. I didn't get a good picture of the awning last time. I got that for 25 bucks in South Carolina, repainted it. Keep that water off of this door. I didn't accomplish near as much as I wanted, but that's the story of my life. But did get some stuff done, had a little bit of help that I paid for. Anyway, I got the hardwood flooring in. I was going to go with flooring that I made myself, but we had this left over and too hard to machine everything exactly right. So really made the best choice doing this. For trim on the front of this, I'm thinking about it, but I think what I'm going to do is get some 1 1/4 inch outside corner made of oak. Might have to cut curves in it to get around this curve. And I think it's 2.5 inch drop. So I'll cut some oak strips thin and put that across the facing. Place is a lot cleaner than what it was. I got up at 4:30 this morning and worked till, I don't know, at least 7:30 cleaning the place up. But anyway, the flooring took, I don't know, I hate to say it, probably something like days to get done. I've done a lot of flooring in my life, but this still took a lot of time. Got a refrigerator and stove from Shane, and he was able to get stuff from Lowe's really, really cheap on clearance. I mean, like 1/5 of the normal price, which was a real blessing to us. I guess Lowe's isn't doing that anymore. Now they're shipping anything that's clearance to Atlanta. Had a guy named Eddie helping put up some sheetrock. Sheetrock, he didn't have enough time to put screws on 16-inch lines down the center. But that's gonna need to get done, but at least it's a start. Place is just a whole lot cleaner than what it was. And the flooring just looks nice and fresh. But like Barbara said, it really is in contrast to the historicity of this place. Having new flooring rather than the pine, but really had no choice up here on the stage because of the baptismal. Eddie and I worked on, well, he would work like 3 hours at a time. Helped me, I don't know, I guess a couple of days, but he helped put some of this sheathing up here in the attic area. I've got 500, best I can calculate, 537 square feet of storage in these attic areas that we've made. It's only about 4 feet tall, so you have to stoop walking along this thing. Then there's the upper attic. Believe it or not, there's an attic above this, and that's where I blew the fiberglass. I really wanted to get the rest of the trim done. That didn't happen, but that's the way it is. Just do what you can do. On these windows, I'm gonna have to replace the sash ropes, and some of the weights have fallen down underneath the place. That'll be fun finding those. There's the 11-foot ladder. These are old Swedish washer and dryer. I don't know where in the world the guy got these. Hopefully they work. I replaced the trim on top of the wainscoting. I took it off, sanded, restained, and sprayed varnish on them, and then nailed those back on. So the place looks a little more finished. It's a lot nicer now that I've spent so much time sweeping and vacuuming and using the blower to clear this place out. This panel was off of one of the 2 exhaust fans that were up here on either side. Made tables out of them with leftover wood from around here. So that'll go up in this wash area up here. Be a laundry table. Washer and dryer will go over here. Fridge on one side or the other. stove there. Bought a, a vent hood from Shane too. And this side will be pantry. Really love to get this floor sanded. One of 2 church pews. I would like to make a trestle table. Finally get a view after 2.5 years or so of this communion table. It's actually very light construction. That would go probably over here. It's nice that we still have these elements. So many of the, I'd say really all of them that I've seen of these church building to house conversions, they've turned the place into something really contemporary. Neither of us want that. We want to keep the elements of the church that it was. Sean had some oak and I made a couple of crosses, used some square nails for the hands and feet. I gave away one of the hymn boards. There's no numbers, maybe we can make some, but I put one of the hymn boards up here, which is nice to have. This is baseboard. It'll have to get stained and varnished. I've really got to get these steps replaced at some point. They're really, really in bad shape. I wonder if a concrete form could hold a pour like this. Don't know. Have to get the pros on that one. Still have to build the framing for around this post. I'm going to make framing panel using cabinetry bits for the router. This area is cleaned up. Food for Peanut, the neighborhood dog. Peach tree, and brought my fig tree here because it just doesn't do any good in our sandy soil back home. Still want to put those 3 schoolhouse lights on chains down this hallway. At some point, we're going to have to start marking the electrical hookups that are needed. Going to make sliding barn doors. They'll close from the inside. So 2 thin doors from South Carolina. Started sanding them. Had a high school kid help scrape some. A lot more sanding to go. Have to be careful because there's lead paint on these doors. But anyway, that should look nice. There's the former front door that, my gosh, it was at least as bad a shape as those. So that, after many hours of scraping and sanding and putting on the new appliques, new glass, new round molding for around that oval window. Looks pretty good, actually. So I put a lot of stuff up in these attics. Just a lot of stuff. Get it off the floor. You can't sand with stuff everywhere. Oh, something I forgot to show. Well, anyway, I bought a flap disc for my angle grinder, and the high school kid wore it out pretty quick trying to get up this old green outdoor carpet. So I finally bought a diamond angle grinder attachment, and that's going to do the job. Those things aren't cheap, though. I'll have to get some ceiling fans, hon, at some point. I've tried to stick with your same Hunter Robbins model as what these are. So I'll have to get Hun. That's when we get the electricity done. There'll be, I think, 2 in the kitchen. And of course, 1 back here in the bedroom. This was the filthiest room in this whole place. It was just dirt and termite damage galore. It was just, ugh. So it may not look like a lot of progress, but I worked pretty hard. And one of these days it'll be done. Here's another one of the crosses. This one's a little smaller, but I thought it'd be kind of nice to use the square nails in here. Good use of some old oak. Actually, it's post oak. That stuff's hard as a rock. Of course, the bathtub will go over there. Thinking about, gee, you know, if you get any splash over of water, it would accumulate right there. Maybe right there. So I'm just thinking, gee, do we need tile here? I don't want to. Got to think on that one. It's going to be, I thought about sticking with the quarter round, this original quarter round all the way around the perimeter, but I've got really a lot of oak baseboard, so I believe that's what I'm going to do, is just run baseboard across the whole place. Now, this kind of baseboard, that's just so chintzy. You know, putting a 1 by, I don't know, 4, I guess it is, maybe 5-inch. That's just ugly. You can see how much wave there is to these floors. We have to start with, I don't know, either a 40 or a 60 grit, probably a 40 grit on the sander. I'll have to drive to Bryan.